if you're just coming in, essentially Mooney was brutally murdered last year. But her case didn't seem to go anywhere until now, and a couple days ago, Magnus was successfully arrested, and now he's being charged as the prime suspect. But not everything is as it appears to be, because apparently the LAPD, as we've been seeing with the anti-Scientology protests, is not to be trusted. And the victim's family has been very clear that the police doesn't really seem to care about her, or so it seems.
Have the police shared any information about the nature of this killing and what it might say about the killer? Have they asked you for any help in terms of getting them leads to who might have done this?
I've given them, I'm doing my own investigation
at this point.
I'm giving them everything that I know,
Yeah, that's pretty terrible that they're trying to actively help the case, and they're like, yeah, we don't need any help. But that said, this Magnus guy is definitely very suspicious. He has a very long track record of doing crime, committing crime. He's been arrested quite a few times. In fact, that's what I have a few question marks, because apparently he was arrested last year. So that's very, very strange. And he's from Minnesota. So some people are speculating he didn't just kill Mooney, he's also killed another woman who lived very close to where Mooney was found. So is it just an insane coincidence that these two women are dead, or do we have on our hands a genuine serial killer who, for whatever reason, decided to do the killings in LA, but then went back to Minnesota? Again, I'm not really an expert here. I do read a lot on crime and legal cases, so I want to be careful, but usually serial killers, if we think about like Jeffrey Dahmer, people like that, they tend to be pretty rare and pretty outside the norm of the population. I mean, Dahmer ate his victims. He also had a kind of genius IQ. He was also into God and Christianity. He was pretty out there. So usually serial killers are rare. They're reported on a lot, but the chances you meet a serial killer or are a victim of a serial killer is really, really rare, but it does happen. So did Mooney just get insanely unlucky that this serial killer decided to just do some killings in LA, but then went back to Minnesota, and that's where they caught him? I don't know. It's just a lot of question marks, but this is definitely a very, very brutal killing. And in fact, this just points to the corruption of the LA police again, because this case had been going on for a while, but nothing really actively happened until recently. So it is kind of suspicious. They now have finally a suspect, and they've been definitely losing a lot in public relations. If you've been keeping up with the anti-Scientology protests, the amount of lying and corruption and just false arrests there are insane. It's insane. So they are clearly just working for rich Scientologists at this point. So obviously this woman does not qualify as a rich Scientologist, so we're not really going to do anything on the case. So it's pretty shocking and sad, but that is the case. So maybe they're making up for lost time. It just looks like a public relations nightmare, so they need to find someone, and Magnus is apparently the attractive candidate. But at this point, we don't know the hard evidence. It seems likely, but like many people are asking, what exactly is the relationship? Because it doesn't seem like he would be the kind of person who would be attractive to her, because he's a successful model. I mean, she's a successful model, so why would she be attracted to someone like this? A lot of question marks. So good on Rabbit for staying on the case, but it's just very weird that they finally found the killer after all these months of not doing anything, and just that they got really, really lucky. It just feels very, very strange all around. But we'll presumably get more details in the days ahead. But at this point, police are being very, very secretive about what they know.